Hello readers, thank you for visiting my channel Purple Pebble. Today I have Walt Disney's classic edition of Sleeping Beauty, so let's enjoy it together. Story adopted by Monique Peterson, pictures by the Walt Disney Studios, adopted by Norm McGarry. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a king and queen had a beautiful baby girl. They named her Aurora. Everyone in the kingdom came to bless the royal birth, including 3 good fairies. But the evil fairy Maleficent was not invited. This made her very angry, so she cursed the princess. She announced that on her 16th birthday, Aurora would prick her finger on a spindle and die. The king and queen were horrified, but the good fairies Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather came up with a plan to protect Princess Aurora from Maleficent. They disguised themselves as peasants and raised Aurora deep in the woods. To be extra safe, the fairies agreed to stop using magic so that no one, especially Maleficent, would suspect them. 16 years went by, and no one discovered Aurora's secret home. Her only companions were the birds and fluffy-tailed squirrels and rabbits. But the princess was never lonely, for she played with her animal friends every day. She sang to them and told them about her dreams of falling in love. On Princess Aurora's 16th birthday, her dreams came true. Prince Philip heard a beautiful song in the forest and followed the sound. He came upon Aurora singing, and they fell in love at first sight. All Aurora's forest friends shared in their joy as the happy couple danced and danced. Meanwhile, the fairies were planning a secret birthday surprise. Fauna tried to whip up a fancy layer cake. She simply opened a recipe book and started mixing all the ingredients in a big ball. Flora wanted to make an extra special dress. She used Merryweather as a model. First, she cut a hole in the center of the cloth for Aurora's feet to go through. Poor Fauna didn't know the first thing about making a cake. She tried and tried and tried, but the only thing she could make was a gooey mess. And Flora had never before made a dress. She snipped and clipped here and pinned and patched there, but she only succeeded in making Merryweather cry. Flora had stitched together a gown absolutely unfit for a princess. Merryweather finally had enough of Flora and Fauna's nonsense. After 16 years, it was time to get out their wands. They needed magic to clean up their mess. So, with a few simple whisks of their wands, Fauna's cake rose to perfection with pink icing and brilliant candles. And Flora's fabric gathered itself, trimmed itself, and sewed itself together. In the blink of an eye, it became the finest gown a princess could dream to wear. The fairies brought Aurora back to the castle on the evening of her 16th birthday. Everyone at the palace eagerly awaited her return. But the wicked Maleficent also came to the castle and waited for the princess. She lured Aurora to the top of a tower where she saw a magic spinning wheel. Then Maleficent's horrible curse came to be. The princess touched the spindle and pricked her finger. The princess fell to the floor. The fairies wept, for they couldn't stop Maleficent. But Aurora didn't die. The good fairies worked their magic so that the princess simply fell into a deep sleep. She would awaken only after the first kiss of her true love. Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather couldn't bear to break the king's heart with the news of Aurora's fate, so they made everyone else in the castle sleep too. All the guards, the ladies in waiting, even the king and queen. Once the palace was totally quiet, the fairies flew away with magical speed. They needed to find the handsome prince who would break the spell. When Prince Philip heard the news, he raced to the castle on his galloping white steed. Suddenly, a gigantic forest of thorns sprouted up all around the castle. Maleficent made the barbed trees grow to stop the prince from reaching Aurora. But the valiant prince slashed away at the terrible thorns and cleared a path to the palace. As soon as the prince got to the palace, a fierce and furious dragon appeared before him. It was Maleficent, who used all her powers to transform herself into a fire breathing dragon. The dragon blasted Philip with a fiery blaze. He stumbled back and nearly fell off the cliff. But the brave prince used his shield and hurled his mighty sword deep into the heart of the dragon. The monstrous Maleficent dropped dead once and for all. The prince dashed to Aurora's side and gave her the kiss of true love. The princess began to stir. She fluttered her eyelids open and awoke at last. Happiness filled her heart when she saw her handsome prince. Then the spell lifted. Yawning and stretching sounds could be heard throughout the entire castle. The king and queen and everyone else slowly woke from their slumber. Soon the palace was buzzing with news of Princess Aurora and Prince Philip. The king and queen ordered a royal feast in the royal banquet hall, and the festivities continued in the magnificent ballroom, where everyone made merry with music and dancing and laughter. The three good fairies were most joyous of all, for they knew Sleeping Beauty had found true love. The prince and princess danced the night away and lived happily forevermore. The end. What a beautiful classic story. I hope you have liked it. Be sure to like and subscribe and buy a copy for your home library. Thank you.